Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Quick Test Tuesday here on the Sparkling Autos YouTube channel. And I'd like to clear something up straight away by saying that some of the more die-hard regular viewers may recognise this video from a couple of months back, but unfortunately for technical reasons I've had to delete the video and upload it again. However, this has actually given me a fantastic opportunity to include the very video that inspired me to come up with this series in the first place. So the product in question then is TAC Systems TR-ZR, which is their all-in-one iron fallout and tar and glue remover. And when I set out to make this video first time around, I wanted to find out, is this product killing two birds with one stone, or is it a jack of all trades, master of none? Well, there's only one way to find out, so we're going to give the car a clean, as you can see in the background here, and get stuck straight into the product test. I'm now going to hand you over to Mark from a couple of months back, who may sound slightly different. Enjoy the video. So the first thing you'll notice about this product is that it literally is 2-in-1. You can actually see the two separate liquids. So before you actually start using it, step one is to give the product a good shake and mix the two together. Once you're happy that the products are thoroughly mixed, fit your appropriate trigger and get ready to start using it. Now, as is the case with virtually any car care product, you want to make sure the panels are nice and cool. If possible, work in the shade, and if you're not able to do that, certainly work in a more appropriate time of the day. So the instructions say to leave 3 to 5 minutes for the product to react with the surface contaminants and then wipe off with a damp microfiber cloth. And so far then the process isn't really any different from any other tar and glue remover that I've used in the past. The only difference is this has the added benefit of also removing iron fallout contaminants. On paper at least anyway. So let's see how it's getting on. Thankfully for the purposes of this test there was a rather large lump of tar which had adhered itself to the boot lid or tailgate, whatever you want to call it. And you could see the reaction straight away when I applied the product. You could see the iron fallout reacting, and you could also see the tar melting. However, as you notice now, whilst agitating it has removed this sort of upper layer of that tar, the rest of it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. To be fair, it was a rather large piece of tar, so what I'm going to do is apply more product over the same section of panel, allow it another 3 to 5 minutes to dwell, and give it a bit more agitation to see if we can get this piece of tar removed. Now this did prove to be quite a tough little bugger, but to be perfectly honest, in this day and age I would expect any tar and glue remover to be able to have moved that with a lot less effort. So whilst on initial contact the product definitely had a visible reaction with both the tar and the iron fallout contaminants, it definitely did seem to struggle with the relatively large tar deposit. So now I'm going to rinse the residue of the product away and have a look to see if I can determine if the iron fallout side of the product has had any impact. Now some of you might be asking yourself about now, how on earth can you possibly test if a fallout remover has had any impact? Well, the only way to do it, certainly from my point of view, is to use a product that you know is going to have a good strong reaction, and for my own convenience I wanted a product that was going to react fast as well. So the only product on my shelves that ticked both of those boxes was Built Hamber's Corosol. Now, I'm not saying that a fast reaction is necessarily better, but it's better for what I need to do in this test. But by all means, let me know in the comment section below what fallout removers you prefer to use, or what you think would react faster than this. So speeding the footage up and taking a closer look, you can actually see that there's not actually very much reaction here. And that could say that the product was very good at dealing with the fallout contaminants, or it could be the fact that it is the back end of the car, which is predominantly one of the areas least impacted by fallout. So we'll get this rinsed off and then take a look at one of the areas that would be most heavily impacted by both tar and fallout, and that's just behind the front wheels. So we'll look at one of the doors now. As before then, work in the shade if entirely possible, and if not, just ensure that the panel's nice and cool. With that being said, if you are ever working with a product like this in warmer conditions and it does dry onto the car, as my friend Graham at GM Details alluded to in a recent video, certainly don't panic. There's two options you have there. One is to simply apply more of the same product, or if you want to save a bit of money, you can actually blanket it with snow foam, which will also break down the product again, enabling you to rinse it off. Allowing another 3 to 5 minutes dwell time, and again you can see both tar and fallout contaminants reacting here. So as per the instructions, I'm going to go over again, particularly focusing on the tar deposits and seeing if it has any more impact on these areas. Now I must apologise for the lighting at this stage, not obviously realising at the time that I was casting a mark size shadow over the car, making it difficult to actually see the tar deposits that I was trying to remove. Now what I did notice on the door compared with the rear of the car is that on the smaller deposits of tar, the product actually worked fairly well. You couldn't complain about that. It did exactly what you needed, there wasn't a lot of effort involved. Sprayed it on, left it to dwell, and they pretty much wiped away with very little agitation. But again, with the larger pieces of tar, they just required a little bit more work. Now none of the pieces on the door were anywhere near the size of what was at the rear of the car, but certainly anything with a diameter more than 1 to 2 millimeters required a bit more effort than I would expect from a modern tar and glue remover. And on that then, for the first part, how does this compare with other tar removers? Well, to be honest, I think if it's the sort of product you're going to use on a weekly basis removing tar, it may well do the job to use as a maintenance product to keep on top of tar deposits. But if it's the sort of thing you're going to use for a heavy decontamination, thinking that the 2-in-1 is going to save you time and effort, I'm afraid to say I think you would be disappointed. And that just about covers the tar end of the product, but what about the fallout removing side of it? Well, I'm going to follow the same process I did at the back end of the car. I'm going to dry the panel off, apply some Corosol, and just see what reaction I have, if any. So I'm going to play the reaction time in real speed, and you can even see within a few seconds the product starting to react with fallout contaminants on the car. And there is enough of a visible reaction there for me to come to the conclusion that this TAC Systems product hasn't had a huge impact on the iron fallout on that side of the car. I will say though that this is just one test carried out by me in one particular set of conditions. It's not conclusive that the product either works or doesn't work, it's just what I've found on the day that I've used it. And based on that, what is my overall conclusion of the TAC Systems tar and iron fallout 2-in-1 product? Or indeed, to put it another way, the moment of truth then, and has this all-in-one product done enough to warrant a place on the shelf? Well, unfortunately, that's a no from me, which is disappointing from a brand that have brought so many good products to the market, but I'm afraid, in my opinion, this just isn't one of them. Of course, as I do always state and make clear, this is just my opinion. And that's all I can do, is give honest feedback based on my own experiences of using these products. And that's all I have to say about that one. I'd like to thank you very much for watching it. Watch it a second time if you've done so. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Take care.